All right, so move on to the next segment. I will be sharing my sleeper team heading into the NBA playoffs. We are just a few games away from the NBA playoffs. I think we're hitting the home stretch here. About 14, 15 games left for a lot of teams left for the regular season heading into the playoffs. So my sleeper team with the NBA regular season coming to an end very quickly is the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 43 and 27, currently the fourth seed in the Eastern Conference. So if you guys have been following this podcast since it started, and if you follow the statement that I said last year, I said the best kept secret at around this time last year in spring. I said the Cleveland Cavaliers were the best kept secret in the NBA, and it has become a true fact. It has been spoken to existence. Now they have become a legitimate threat in the Eastern Conference heading on the stretch, heading into the postseason. Now the team noticed their potential. What they do before the NBA season started this year, they went out and got Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz. So now this Cleveland Cavaliers team has a bright future on their hands with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, their big man duo of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen leading the way in the front court, are helping the Cleveland Cavaliers compete on a nightly basis and becoming a household name in the Eastern Conference right now. They right now have a top 10 offense and top 10 defense in the NBA today. And I truly feel like this team is a team you do not want to see in a 7-game series. I think they could take out anybody in the Eastern Conference. When you look at the teams that's in the East that's going to be there come playoff time, the Philadelphia 76ers, I love them matching up against them on a nightly basis. On defensive side of the ball, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley can assure that Joel Embiid is not going to be the guy that will defeat them in a 7-game series. They're going to force guys like James Harden, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, and others to step up. I love the matchup in a 7-game series against the Philadelphia 76ers. The New York Knicks. The New York Knicks were hot as anybody in the NBA, but they just came off a 3-game losing streak. They just snapped it against the Los Angeles Lakers last night. I think that's an interesting series, but I would go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they have the better chemistry going on. I think they have the better players. I think they have the better overall roster. And the New York Knicks are like my Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. It seems so good, but when it's time to dance, they hurt you the most. And my co-host Rob Sarasula can co-sign on that one. My Miami Heat. There's a lot to talk about this Heat team. And they were just a shot away from playing in the NBA Finals last year against the Golden State Warriors. But I feel like this year, this team is on a huge collapse. This team is not the team that they once were a year ago. What happened to the fire that was lit, I'm not sure in this roster, but I can feel like they can gentlemen sweep my Miami Heat as of today. The Brooklyn Nets, yes, Mikal Bridges looks good in his new home with the Brooklyn Nets, but that team just hasn't had much time to really gel and get things together since the Kevin Durant trade. Yes, they're winning regular season games, but can you really trust them against this Cleveland Cavaliers team in a 7-game series? No. I think that can result in a gentleman's sweep as well. And the Atlanta Hawks, if they match up against them, the Atlanta Hawks are going to get swept. Point blank, period. The Cleveland Cavaliers is somebody you don't want to see in the East. They have the ability to even take out the top guys in the Eastern Conference, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. If you don't believe me, it shows when they matched up against them this year. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers can truly take them to deep waters in a 7-game series. I'm not sure if they can knock off either one of those teams, but they can make them sweat a little bit. They can give them a run for their money. They can make them go into deep territory in a playoff series, maybe a Game 6, maybe a Game 7. But this is a team that you do not want to see. Their record right now against the Boston Celtics right now, they're 3-1 against them in the regular season. You only play them 4 times in a row. They got the best out of them 3 out of 4 times. And then they're 2-2 against the Milwaukee Bucks this year. It's a coin flip. To me, this is a team that nobody wants to see in the Eastern Conference. To me, this team, the only question mark this team really had heading into the second half, being a threat in the Eastern Conference and going on a deep playoff run, was their quality play of their bench. Now, the bench has stepped up big time after the NBA All-Star break. Right now, they have the 9th best bench right now in the NBA when you talk about contributing to points on a nightly basis since the NBA All-Star break in terms of points scored on a nightly basis. So, to me, this Cleveland Cavaliers team can sneak up on a lot of people. I know they're not going to look at them as a top contender because there's teams of the Milwaukee Bucks in the East, the Boston Celtics, the Philadelphia 76ers. But this Cleveland Cavaliers team is definitely a team. It's going to be my sleeper team. I was right about them. They were the best kept secret in the NBA. Now they're about to unleash it. And they have a potential to take these top teams in the East in deep waters. Game 6, Game 7, anything can happen once you hit those marks in a 7-game series. But they can take out anybody else for sure in the East other than the Milwaukee Bucks or the Boston Celtics. To me, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be my sleeper team heading into the NBA playoffs.